back to Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm here for my Monday Night Raw review for December 15th, 2025. Now, my overall thoughts on this show is exactly what it was last week and the week before last. This show is horrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to you. Besides the opening segment, which we'll break down, we're going to break down the entire show. This show is awful. No care in the world. They don't care. This company does not care. It's holiday season, and they want you to spend your money to come see WWE December 26th all the way through January for their holiday tours and all this stupid stuff that they're doing, and they don't care. This company does not care. Triple H doesn't care. We kept saying for years that we wanted Vince McMahon gone from creative because he just ran out of juice and he didn't have it anymore. This show is awful. And I try to give Triple H a pass. Maybe it's TKO. Maybe it's somebody who just doesn't give him the... No. If you believe Nick Khan when he says that nobody else interferes with creative, and the only person who does it is Triple H, I'm going to take him at his word now. Now I'm going to take him at his word. I tried to blame TKO a little bit because I don't like TKO. Believe Vince McMahon sold the company to the wrong people, especially Mark Shapiro. Just the worst. He's the absolute worst. To say that Vince McMahon was holding prices for families and didn't capitalize on making the money, he's absolutely horrible. And the fact that it's fans who saw that and still pay for the tickets to this show just goes to show you that a lot of people are sheep out here. And the reason why I say that is because that's insulting. It's the same way with Adam Silver in the NBA. He said if you can't afford to come to an NBA game, that we are a highlight league and we could basically watch the highlights. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, tried to walk it back. But the reason I put two and two together is because they just don't care. They're money hungry and they're greedy. This company is money hungry and they're greedy. Their greed goes beyond Vince McMahon's lack of creative in the company. This company is greedy. They want your money and that's it. They don't care about putting on a good show. They don't care about the writing. They need writers. This company needs writers. This company needs writers so bad that they might have to bring back Vince Russo. This company needs writing so bad they might need to bring back Ed Ferrara. They need booking agents. Bring back Jim Cornette too. Bring back the whole crew from back in the day. This show was so terrible. And I'm going to break it down piece by piece of why it was horrible. But before I break it down, please hit the like button, subscribe button to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. Now let's get into Monday Night Raw. The show opens with a video package looking back to this past weekend's Saturday night's main event special, which is centered around John Cena's final match. Many of the big moments from the match are shown, including Cena tapping out, before the focus is turned to the celebration of his career post-match. The final shot of the video package is Cena saluting his fans after a long journey and making his way to the back. Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore then welcomes us to the show. It was a nice opening tribute to John Cena. By the way, my overall thoughts on Saturday night's main event was I didn't really care about the finish with John Cena. It is what it is. If he wanted it, he gets it. It's his way. It's his choice to have that. I had no problem with that. If he taps out, never give up, and he tapped out, fine. If he wanted to do that, sincerely wanted to do that, I don't care. My problem was the entire show that was booked. You rushed every single match, didn't give these young guys a chance to show something. They couldn't get 12 to 15 minutes. John Cena said that this show was not supposed to be canon, and you let Drew McIntyre interfere with Opa Fenby? Every other match was damn near 6 minutes. I cannot stress to you how badly that show was booked on Saturday, and it made me so angry that I didn't do a video on it, which I should have done it anyway. I waited too long. That Saturday night's main event, besides the main event, if John Cena wanted that, that's fine with me. If he wanted to go out like that, that's fine. It was the end of the road. He had a smile on his face, and he tapped out. If John wanted that, you gotta respect his wishes. Other than that, that show was poorly booked, and Triple H deserved to be booed. If anybody tells you that Triple H didn't deserve to be booed, they're lying. He deserved to be booed, not because of the finish. See, people got it wrong. He didn't deserve to be booed because of the finish. He deserved to be booed because of the way the show was booked. It was way too fast-paced. Not everybody got to actually wrestle a full good match. They rushed. It looked like they was on a time crunch. It was so bad. But we opened the show. I just had to give you that. But we opened the show with Gunther's music hitting. This was fantastic. I told you guys from the beginning. This beginning part was fantastic. Gunther's music then hits. He stops at the ring before heading into the announce desk. Gunther then stands to the desk and the crowd boos and they're just booing him. Do you guys remember when WrestleMania 33 in the main event, it's Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker? Roman Reigns, The Undertaker. Roman Reigns pins The Undertaker at WrestleMania. This is the second time The Undertaker is pinned at WrestleMania. And the next night, Roman Reigns comes out, and the entire audience is booing him out of the building, and he's just standing there. He didn't even talk. They're telling him to shut the F up. All the things. They're just going in on Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns says, "It's my yard now." He just walks out of the ring. It was great. This didn't really match that to that degree, because that was just insane. And plus, the Undertaker had, at that time, he retired right there, and people were shocked that he did that. So that's why it was so insane when Roman Reigns did that. But that was great when Roman Reigns did it. And tonight here, it felt kind of similar. As soon as they started booing him and he's trying to talk, I'm like, oh my goodness. It reminded me of that Roman Reigns and Undertaker moment. This was actually great for me. So they're booing him really, really loud. He's being introduced by Alicia Taylor. Gunther then makes his way inside the ring with the microphone in his hand. As the crowd continues to show their disdain, Gunther then climbs the nearest turnbuckle, and the crowd starts chanting, "You suck" at him. The crowd then chants, "You tapped out" at Gunther before he starts to speak, only for the crowd to shut him down with more booing. Gunther then starts off by saying he did what he did, said what he was going to do, and that was make John Cena give up. The crowd continues booing Gunther, and he says that when Cena gave up, he tapped out like a little bitch. Gunther then drops the microphone and he leaves the ring to soak in the hate from the crowd, only to return to the ring and climb the turnbuckle to mock the crowd some more. Gunther then leaves the ring again and heads up the ramp, only to make his way back down to the ring, return to the announce desk. He gets on the announce desk and starts taunting the crowd again. Gunther then grabs the microphone to remind everybody that he made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. This was amazing. And then he says he will forever be known as the man who made John Cena give up. The crowd then boos some more, chanting "You suck" as Gunther drops the mic again before making his way back up the ramp. This was fantastic. I told you this was the best part of the night. The opening part of the show was the best part of the night. This was the best part of the night. The rest of the show was absolutely god-awful. But this was great. It was nothing but heat. It was fantastic. The way he just gloated. I mean, he left the ring, ran inside the ring. He got in the ring, lifted his arms up. It was amazing. That was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed this segment because I knew the way that Gunther is, he's going to poke the crowd. This was amazing. I really liked it. Okay, so we then go to the back. Gunther goes to a gorilla position. He goes into the backstage area where Otis and Akira Tozawa, they stare at Gunther. Otis asks if he feels good, and Gunther says he does with a smiling face. Now, mind you, Gunther's a heel, but right now, he's such a heel that he's smiling, and he's so happy. And I'm happy because I'm not happy, but because obviously I don't want to see John Cena retire, but it is what it is. But for the show purposes, I'm just smiling the whole time because I'm like, yo, this is just so funny. So Otis and Akira Tozawa are just basically looking at him. They says, "Are you happy?" He says he is happy. Gunther says that he is happy. R-Truth then stares at Gunther. Truth says Gunther is a piece of trash. Gunther then walks away. He's just laughing the whole time. Like, he just basically whisk R-Truth away from him, So he just keeps walking. And I'm just sitting there smiling the whole time. I'm just laughing at him because I'm like, he's being the a-hole and I love it. So next we get Adam Pearce. This is what kind of took the segment down a peg, just one bit, and I'm going to explain why in a second. So Adam Pearce comes up. He asks, "Are you proud that you beat John Cena and sent him to retirement and walk over his legacy?" Basically gloating about beating him. Pearce then says that does not make you a ring general and makes you an a-hole. Pearce then tells Gunther he is done for the night and he could find the exit. Gunther then leaves the building and AJ Styles is standing next to Gunther's vehicle, who's basically standing there. Gunther then asks AJ if he wants to tell him anything. AJ then lets him pass, and Gunther gets to his car. Gunther then drives away, and he rolls out a window. He's about to drive fully off, but he stops. He stops the car. He says, "Hey, AJ." He says, "Hey, AJ." He rolled down the window and did John Cena's "You Can't See Me." Oh, man, that was great. I loved every bit of that. When he was about to pull off and he slowed down and the window rolls down, he says, "AJ," and he does the John Cena "You Can't See Me." It was fantastic because he's just mocking him, and AJ just looks so mad, but it's like you're so mad, but you know that you can't laugh in that moment. I was cracking up. I thought this was hysterical. I was laughing because I'm like, yo, this is just so funny that they're doing this, and the way that they did it. He gets in the car, he jumps in the car. They don't say anything. Asks me got something to say, but he doesn't say anything. AJ Styles doesn't say anything back to him. And he just rolls down the window and just starts doing a John Cena, you can't see me. And then he just drives off laughing. I was like, this was great. But, and that's a big but, Adam Pearce, come on, man. You're kicking Gunther out of the building for doing what he said he was going to do, and that was make John Cena tap out. This part is the only part that didn't make sense out of all of this. You kicked him out of the building for wrestling and doing his job. That's the only part I didn't like about it. You kicked him out of the building for doing his job. This made no sense. Because you are biased in the fact that you didn't want to see John Cena retire, which nobody did. But he called it quits. He wanted out. Well, not wanted out, but he wanted to retire. And so, for me personally, I didn't like that. Adam Pearce, you don't kick the guy out of the building, but I guess he kicked him out of the building, so it did set up the fact that AJ Styles was outside waiting for him, which I have no problem with that. But it's just the way that Adam Pearce is like, okay, you're kind of being biased towards John Cena, even though everybody is. But storyline wise, it's like the general manager is supposed to be neutral, but because he's a babyface, I guess he gets away with it. But I didn't really care for it. I didn't really like it, but it is what it is. It set up a great moment with AJ Styles, so I'm not going to really complain too much. So after that, the commentary team then walks us through what happened. We then see the arrivals of some of the women involved in the two big title matches for the night, as well as the arrivals of the Vision and the returning CM Punk. We then get a video package looking at the Usos being back in the tag division, setting their eyes on a New Day as they put the division on notice. The Usos then make their way down to the ring for the first match of the night, and the New Day follow up with Grayson Waller. Again, the Usos are back. I think it's a swerve. I think eventually Jey Uso's going to get tired of it, and he's going to turn on his brother, and we're going to usher in a heel turn from Jey Uso, unless the company just doesn't want to do it, and it is what it is. But they've been teasing it for so long. Why go back now? But we'll see. It's still taking its time to bake. As far as the New Day goes, for me, I don't care. I told you guys last week, and I told you guys the week before last. I don't care about the New Day not one bit. I think Triple H ruined their heel run. They got the World Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. The only thing left for New Day to do in this company is to go over to SmackDown and win those Tag Team title belts so that they can say that they've won every single belt that the company has to offer in this new era. The same thing with The Miz, by the way. If The Miz stays on SmackDown and he teams up with somebody and he wins the Tag Team titles, he would have won every single Tag Team Championship belt design since basically the year, 2000? Or 2002, 2003. So he would have won every single belt, which I hope he does that before he retires, The Miz. I hope he wins the WWE Tag Team titles on SmackDown. But other than that, the New Day need to go win those belts too so they could make that their claim. Other than that, that's the only thing I want to see from New Day is go to SmackDown, win the Tag Team titles, and for the Miz do the same thing. Other than that, I don't care about the New Day. Their heel run was wasted again. They got the titles at WrestleMania. They dropped them to the War Raiders, and they've been complaining and crying ever since. This made no sense to me. This match, it was a throwback. Okay, I get it, fine. It was a good match. It was a decent match. Didn't really care for it at all. I'm not gonna go play by play because that's not really my thing of the play by play. But the winners of the match were the Usos. They beat the New Day. I didn't expect any different. I know it's going to go good for about first couple of matches. Then certain things probably going to turn to turmoil if the company actually does it. But do I care about the New Day in this spot? Absolutely not. We care about the Usos and what the story is going to be and how the story is going to progress. So we get Joe Tessa's story. He then mentions the two matches for the Raw Netflix anniversary in Brooklyn on January 5th. Joe says CM Punk will face Braun Breaker for the World Championship, and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will face Asuka and Kairi Sane for the Women's Tag Team titles. We then head to the back where Asuka says that Io betrayed her and her family. Kairi then says she loved Io and Asuka loved her. Asuka then says all you had to do was apologize and acknowledge her as your senpai. That's how you say it. She then says she would have taken Io back, but she chose Rhea. She then says, now both of you will learn pain. She then says they will end Rhea and Io in Brooklyn. Then we get Byron Saxton in an interview with his guest Dominic Mysterio. Byron asks Dominic about John Cena's retirement. Dominic says he feels fantastic that John Cena will never wrestle in the ring. Dominic then says he is honored to be the last man to beat John for a championship. Dominic then says he's excited for is that Raquel Rodriguez is going to bring the gold back to the Judgment Day. When she beats Stephanie Valkyrie tonight, Dominic then questions Byron's doubt about what he said. Dominic then says they run Raw. Dominic then says Finn and JD love their gold, so they will be excited when Raquel wins. It was an okay backstage segment. Didn't really care for it, but it is what it is. They do this on Netflix breaks. I saw it. on social media. I see it right here. It's the videos popped up right here as I'm looking at these notes. I know they do these backstage segments where they interview people when Netflix is on commercial, whatever the case may be. If you're not paying for that tier, which if I was you, I wouldn't pay for the tier anyway. Just let the ads run. You can always see it online. We then get a video package looking back at last week's Logan Paul's attack on Rey Mysterio, which was made slightly more complicated by the arrival of the Mystery Man from the Survivor Series as he later cost LA Knight the match against Logan. We also see a Vision beatdown of LA Knight post-match all the way to the backstage area where they set him up for a tsunami on top of the car. We then head back to where Logan Paul tells Bronson Reed it was nice what he did to LA Knight. Braun Breaker then says LA Knight is gone, but CM Punk is here tonight. He then says that they should destroy him tonight. Logan then says the Masked Man will probably show up tonight. Paul Heyman then says Ray, LA Knight, and his friends and CM Punk are coming for them, so the Masked Man's help is welcomed. Braun then tells Paul he is going to take out Punk. Paul then reminds him that Braun is 21 days away from becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. He then says wait until then, beat Punk, and become the World Champion. Logan then says he wants Braun and him to lock in since he has Rey Mysterio tonight. Now, the funny part about this segment was after Paul Heyman gets done talking to Braun Breaker, he walks away and he's like, new world champion, Braun Breaker. But he's saying it in the background as if he has the microphone cutting a promo in front of the crowd, which I thought that was hilarious that Paul Heyman was doing that. But my problem goes to Logan Paul. Man, you can't make fun of Rey Mysterio for being 3'6". 3'6" and they go sit up here and say, I need help to prep for Rey Mysterio. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's no longer in his prime. You are in your prime, no pun intended. You're in your prime, and you're sitting up here, oh my gosh, I need help with Rey Mysterio, after you made fun of him these past couple weeks. I don't understand it. I still, that's the most confusing part about this whole entire thing. Why do you need help taking care of Rey Mysterio when you're bigger than him, stronger than him, and you're in your prime, going up against somebody who you made fun of for being short? That does not make any sense. Now, after we come back from commercial, Joe and Wade then mentioned that LA Knight suffered a cracked sternum and he is out indefinitely after the attack from the Vision last week. They also hype up CM Punk speaking later tonight. Here's my problem. LA Knight being out, he's probably going to be out until January the 5th in Brooklyn. And if he's out longer than that, he's going to pop back up at the Royal Rumble. This does nothing for me. They're writing LA Knight off TV just so that maybe the fans will stop being mad at the company at the fact that they're booking him like he's nothing, like he hasn't worked hard at all. They don't want to give him the green light according to Ibu. Again, the company is doing LA Knight a disservice. He's working hard and they're not giving him the green light, which they did say that according to bodyslam.net. That he's going to get a big push starting next year. But if he doesn't win a world title or another championship, what good is the push? He's already getting pushed now. He's one of the top babyfaces on Monday Night Raw. The next step for LA Knight is to win a world championship. That's the next step. But they say he's out for definitely. Again, he's going to come back January 5th or he's going to come back at the Royal Rumble. Either way, we'll wait for his return. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley make their way down to the ring. The Kabuki Warriors then show up and Asuka spits mist in Rhea's face, while Kairi Sane hits a forearm off the ringside barrier on Io. They then send Io into the ring steps. Asuka then hits a sliding kick on Rhea against the apron. Asuka and Kairi then roll Rhea into the ring, while Asuka holds off the referees. Kairi then hits an elbow drop off the turnbuckles onto Io, who tries her best to human shield herself on top of Rhea. Officials then help Io and Rhea from the ring to the backstage area. My problem with this segment was, it wasn't bad. It was just, it looked like Asuka missed, no pun intended, but she missed spitting the mist into Rhea's face. I'm sitting there like, what's going on? Like, you could see it come out of her mouth, the mist come out of her mouth, but I'm like, you missed her. You got her on the, like, basically spit on her chest. But I'm like, you missed her whole entire face, and Rhea sitting up here, like, she got a little bit, especially, like, right around the face area, like, you know, by her mouth and all that stuff like that, but you didn't really get her in her eyes. I'm like, you totally missed that. I feel like I'm the only one that realized that not all of the mist got in Rhea's actual face by her eyes, like, right here. It didn't make any sense. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, I get why she has to stay in character, but man, I feel like they messed up. It didn't really look like they got the mist in her face, but it is what it is. It was a decent segment. Did I really care about it? No, again, because I feel like they're lacking in both women's world title matches. They got so many women in this tag team division that they're lacking for the actual women's world titles. I said this on my SmackDown reviews for the past 2 weeks, and I said it last week when it comes to Stephanie Valkyrie. They're lacking in the women's world title division, which is absolutely insane that they're doing this. This is nuts that they're not paying much attention to Stephanie Valkyrie, and they're ruining her title run. And she's very, very good. I like Stephanie Valkyrie a lot. We get Ivy Nile already in the ring to face Maxine Dupree. She makes her way down to the ring. They start off in having a decent match, in my opinion. Maxine Dupree wins this match with Acolyte to retain the championship. Now, I did notice that Maxine Dupree is actually coming along in the ring. She wasn't bad at all. She's actually improving with the women's Intercontinental title. Maybe they need to have her hold on to it at least until the Royal Rumble. Again, I said that if they really wanted to do something, they should have Nikki Bella go after her. But you will see later in this review that they had Nikki Bella do something else, as if they should have had her go against Maxine Dupree. Because if they have her go against Maxine Dupree and have Nikki Bella being the older veteran picking on the young Maxine Dupree, it makes better storyline sense instead of her continuously going after the women's world title, which we'll get to. This makes no sense for me. Maxine Dupree needs somebody, not Ivy now. Ivy now has not done nothing. If you want to spice this up and want to give the story the proper attention, it needs to be Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella needs to be the one that picks on Maxine Dupree. The crowd feels sorry. She's still Intercontinental Champion, but build the story that way. There is no reason why Ivy now needs to be in this spot. Yeah, she's trying to be a bully, but it doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work, everybody who is watching this review? You know why it doesn't work? Because Ivy now is barely on TV. The Creeps are barely on TV. Alpha Academy is barely on TV. Maxine Dupree is barely on TV. Even though she won a title, she was doing vignettes, so I'll give her a reprieve. Other than that, Ivy Nile's not on TV. The Creed brothers are on TV. Chad Gable's still gone, dealing with his injuries. But at the end of the day, no. I don't care about Ivy now. She's a good wrestler, by the way. Fantastic wrestler, but they've made me not care. And when we get to the end of the show, the same thing I said about Ivy now and giving us a reason not to care about her because she's not on TV, it's going to be the same way at the end of the show. So you stay tuned. So after this match goes off, we then take a look at the NXT stars from Saturday Night's main event. We then head to the back where Adam Pearce tells Javon Evans he got his attention. El Grande Americano, I wish they would get this guy off TV. Even though he's been on TV for a minute, they need to keep him there. Then shows up with his associates. He then says he wants to know where was their shot at Saturday Night's main event. Evans then says he knows enough Spanish to know that he's talking down to him and NXT. Pierce then says Evans if he's available next week, and he wants to know who wants a piece of Evans. Pierce then makes Evans versus Rayo official. I don't know why we got this segment. I don't know why this happened. I feel bad for Javon Evans because this is beneath him to be finding an El Grande Americano assistant. By the way, if Triple H was behind the El Grande Americano character, I just want to say, this is why you are one of the worst bookers of this year. Because nobody asked for a Grande Americano. Even when Chad Gable was doing it, we didn't ask for it. And by the way, that match should never happen at WrestleMania. And when they put Rey Fenix in because Rey Mysterio got hurt at WrestleMania, the fact of the matter that you put Rey Fenix to lose to this character is beyond me. Ridiculous. I didn't care nothing about this segment. I thought this segment was the dumbest segment of the night, or at least one of the dumbest segments of the night. But we'll get to that later. But this was just stupid. Who in the hell is Rayo? This segment was stupid. And it was a waste of time. And this is why, again, this show was horrible. We get a backstage segment with Byron Saxton, an interview area with Otis and Akira Tozawa. Why? I don't care about these dudes, man. They are asked about watching Maxine Dupree defend their championship. Tozawa says it was amazing. Byron then asks Otis, he has something to say to Gunther. Otis says that he has something to get off his chest. He then says John taught him a lot, and it reminds him of what his father taught him. He then says his father taught him to show respect to everyone equally. He then says, Gunther, you show no respect. Otis then says, after what you said last weekend, he is going to shut your mouth for you. Tozawa then rips his shirt off. I didn't care nothing about this. I saw this. I didn't care nothing about it. I didn't care nothing about it. This was a waste of time. I don't understand why Akira Tozawa and Otis are on my television screen in 2025. When, by the way, Triple H again, when Otis was beefing with Chad Gable, they totally buried that whole entire thing of him being or getting his comeuppance against Chad Gable. It was disgusting. This entire segment was just a waste of time. It was a waste of a commercial break. Byron Saxton should have been in the back drinking a peanut colada or something, having a soda or a soda pop or whatever you want to call it. This was horrible. I don't know why they put this on my TV screen in 2025. I don't care about Akira Tozawa. Like I said, all of my criticisms about wrestling is not personal towards the wrestler. You just don't give me a reason to care about Otis and Akira Tozawa. This made no sense, and I still don't understand why these guys are on my TV. Instead of calling people out from NXT who deserve, like Trick Williams, been in NXT for damn near 3 years, not doing nothing. I know he won a TNA World title, but it is what it is. He's in NXT, and these guys are on my television screen ripping shirts off and not doing nothing. Makes no sense. Horrible. I don't care about the segment. Anyway, next up we get CM Punk. His music hits. He makes his way down to the ring from a big pop from the crowd singing along to his theme song. Punk starts off by saying he was forced to miss 2 weeks of Raw because smarter people said that he wasn't cleared and couldn't fly. Punk then says he hated having listened to Braun Breaker talk the last 2 weeks. Punk then calls Braun a cross-eyed Neanderthal Nepo baby and says he said Braun was mad that he tried to end your career at War Games. Punk then says you didn't sign up for War Games. You signed up for war. Punk then says your team won and you had the audacity to stand in the ring and talk about how easy it was to beat him and pin his shoulders to the mat. Punk then says you wanted 2011 CM Punk, but you can't handle 2025 CM Punk with the help from your friends. Punk then says you got help from Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and your mystery masked man. Punk then says, congrats, Bronny, you beat him. Punk then says that puts you in the line for a title shot. Punk then says you didn't do it alone, did you? Punk then says after that, he has been here many times before. He says you can ask Paul how many times he took a guy and gassed it up and it was way too soon. Punk then says if he had money for every time he had a gassed up prospect ready for WrestleMania, he would have a pocket full of dimes. Punk then says if you mention his wife again, it goes from business to personal, and he will rip out Braun's eyes and piss on his brain. Punk after that says he will challenge Braun to show up alone to face him one-on-one. Then says it isn't because you don't have the balls, you don't have the heart. Punk then says you aren't able to carry this company. He then says bring everyone with you. Punk then tells Braun to bring his dumb father and his dumb uncle. Punk then says you will need all to have a snowball's chance in hell to beat him. Punk then says when he wins and you wake up and look around that Paul has left you to find the next big thing. Brock Lesnar referenced next big thing. And Bronson is doing TikTok with internet scammers. I think he said YouTube scammers on this one. Punk then says your masked man won't ever show up. Punk then says the only person you will have left is Dumb and Dumber. Punk then says all the Steiner math in the world won't matter because the GTS means 1, 2, 3, and still the champion of the world, the best in the world, CM Punk. Punk then drops the mic as his music hits and he points to his title. Now me reading all of that just goes to show you that I didn't like the promo. Because I didn't read it with as much enthusiasm as I should have. The promo was okay. Did I like it? The piss on your brain part? No. The Steiner math thing was okay. But it just felt a little bit scripted, even though I know that's not Punk. He probably followed some bullet points. I didn't really care for the promo. It was a decent promo. Not too bad. Again, CM Punk is one of the best promos in the history of professional wrestling. So who am I to criticize? But again, this was just okay. So then after that, we head to the back where Dominic Mysterio is with Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Dominic says he hopes the Vision puts an end to his deadbeat dad. I'm getting so sick of that storyline of him calling Rey Mysterio a deadbeat dad. It's nauseating. Enough is enough. I hope they never fight in the company ever again. Unless Rey Mysterio's going for retirement and he's done wrestling and he puts his son over, that's it. I don't want to hear no more about this deadbeat dad stuff. It is annoying. Anyway, Liv then asks, where is Finn? Dominic says Finn is with JD, who will be on the shelf for a while. He had got surgery, if you guys wanted to know. Liv then says they are ready for Raquel to win the title. Raquel then says she will be able to do it on her own. Liv then says after her and Roxanne win the tag titles, they can all celebrate. Roxanne then says she will take care of Bayley next week, which I did not ask for this match at all. Anyway, Stephanie Valkyrie then makes her way down to the ring for the next match, and then after that, Raquel Rodriguez follows. This backstage segment was okay. Liv Morgan kind of looked at Raquel Rodriguez a little type of way. She had like a dirty kind of like a smirk on her face, a mean smirk on her face a little bit when Raquel was talking. But after she got done talking, she started smiling again. So I don't know if they're really planting the seeds for them and what's going to transpire between them. If Liv Morgan's going to get jealous, if not, that Raquel Rodriguez is going after the women's world title, which she thinks she should be going after. Like I said again, I do not want to see Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. I don't know why we're getting this match again. Lazy booking by the company. Tag team and a tag team. This person faced this person 1 week. So this week we get Bayley versus Roxanne Perez, and I bet you the week after that we're probably gonna get Liv Morgan versus Lara Valkyria, which in that case I don't care. At the end of this, all happens. Nikki Bella interferes in this match and costs the match. Nikki Bella interferes in the match. She sends Raquel into the post. The referee calls for the bell. The winner of the match is Stephanie Valkyrie due to outside interference. After the bell, Nikki Bella attacks Valkyrie on the floor, then hits her with a Rack Attack 2.0 in the ring. We head to the back, where Adam Pearce is with Paul Heyman, and Adam wonders how Paul didn't know who it is under the mask. Paul then says it is Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Nick Aldis, Bruno Sammartino, which was crazy. Paul then says he doesn't know. Paul then says he doesn't mind it as long as they're on the same page. Paul then says it is convenient. Paul then says he has to prepare Logan for his match. Adam then says he wants to know by the end of the night. Then after that, Rhea walks into the office and says that she wants Asuka because obviously earlier tonight she spit the mist into her face even though she completely missed. Adam, no pun intended, Adam then asks if next week is okay and Rhea said it's perfect. We then see Rey Mysterio walking in the back with CM Punk. He's walking in the back. CM Punk stops him and says, I have your back. Rey says, you know how I feel about that. Punk then tells Rey Mysterio to go punch Logan Paul in the face. Now, I went a little bit too fast here. I just want to say this. Nikki Bella interfering in that match was uncalled for. And I say uncalled for because you got to have better booking than this. I know they didn't want Raquel Rodriguez to lose or get pinned by Stephanie Valkyrie, which I don't know why. I just don't get it. Too many protecting people. People could get pinned, man. Too much protecting of people. Again, Nikki Bella should have never been in this segment to begin with. I don't want to see her going after the world title. Go feud with Maxine Dupree. It will help Maxine Dupree. You're not helping anything with the women's world title. That ship has sailed. I don't want to see you next to the women's world title. You're not going to win it. The company's not giving it to you. Go and face the women's Intercontinental Champion and Maxine Dupree. I don't understand why they're doing this. This made absolutely no sense. But after that, we see AJ Styles and Dragon Lee with Jackie Redmond. She then asks him about a match between the Usos and the New Day. AJ says that it was an amazing match, but he and Dragon Lee are the champions. He then says they are ready to defend the titles. Lee then says they will defend against anyone. Again, I keep trying to tell y'all, AJ Styles getting ready to retire next year, and you got him in a tag team with Dragon Lee. It's no disrespect to Dragon Lee at all. Again, none of the stuff that I say on here is personal towards the wrestlers. It's personal with the booking. The booking of AJ Styles is terrible. I want to see AJ Styles go after a world title one more time. Go after an Intercontinental title one more time. Hell, go after the United States Championship one more time. Ian Dragunov ain't doing nothing on SmackDown with it. Give it back to AJ Styles or something. This was okay. I don't really care for AJ Styles being in a tag team. It could have been Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio in a tag team. They could be World Tag Team Champions for all I care. I don't care about this segment at all. I like AJ Styles. I like Dragon Lee too. But we're just wasting our time with them being World Tag Team Champions. And hopefully the Usos win it off for them because this is just ridiculous. Next up, we get Nikki Bella that cuts a promo and says she has something to say next to Jackie Redmond. She then says she is not sorry for putting people beneath her away. She then says she is a legend and Stephanie and Raquel should be shining her boots. This was a fiery promo, but then again, I'm saying they should be shining your boots. They better than you. No disrespect. And I like Nikki Bella, but no, they shouldn't be shining your boots. They better than you. I'm not shining your boots if I'm better than you. You the OG, I get it. You're the legend. You're the OG, fine, whatever. But no, ain't nobody shining your boots. They better than you. There's no disrespect, but they are. That's the facts. They're better than you, period. Again, it was a nice promo by Nikki Bella, but she needs to be facing the women's Intercontinental Champion, Maxine Dupree, and help push her. Help her get her going. Be mean, bully, stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't really care. Again, I don't care for Nikki Bella being in the women's world title match anymore. They could have had something with Stephanie Valkyrie, but they've ruined it, so I don't care. Next up, it is announced that next week Bayley faces Roxanne Perez again. Why are we getting this match? Lazy booking. Javon Evans faces Rayo Americano, and Rhea Ripley faces Asuka. Javon Evans, I'm sorry, my brother. I feel bad for you. You should not be in this match whatsoever. Again, I said on my Saturday night's main event predictions that they're basically getting you in front of the universe, WWE Universe, or WWE fans. I hate the word universe. When Vince McMahon used to always say WWE Universe, no, it's your universe. It's the WWE fan. Remember back in the day when they said WWF fans? WWE fans. They're putting Javon Evans in front of the fans just to get him familiarized, so by the time he gets called up from NXT, they can actually be familiar with him. I love Javon Evans, a great talent. He is phenomenal, man. He is a phenomenal wrestler, future world champion in this business for sure, if politics don't come in the way, because, since LA Knight can't get the green light, I wonder if Javon Evans going to get the green light. And yes, that is a shot at the current establishment for the way that they book their talent. Anyway, we head to the back where Bayley tells Maxine Dupree that she is proud of her. Lyle Valkyria then shows up and asks Bayley about Saturday. Bayley then says losing to someone with less experience got to her, and she thought about what Asuka said. Lara then says one loss doesn't remind her of the Bayley she grew up watching. She then says Asuka is right, that Bayley's an idiot. Bayley then yells at Lara and says she will beat Roxanne like Lyra couldn't. She then calls Lyra an idiot and leaves. Lyra is happy with what she did for Bayley. Basically, she motivated her. Again, I don't understand what happened to the storyline of Bayley going between personalities, which they're still doing it, but they're not doing it to the point where she's going at Lyra Valkyria. It's like now Lyra Valkyria is on her side and she's continuously switching between both against other people, when the story originally was from Lyra Valkyria getting inside Bayley's head. So now everything is all good between her and Lyra. They're not going to do the whole Bayley's going to turn around, she turns heel, and then she goes back on a heel run. I guess not. This is called lazy booking 101 again. After that, Rey Mysterio makes his way down to the ring for the main event. Logan Paul follows. We get Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio in the main event. Logan Paul asks Paul Heyman for the brass knuckles. Paul Heyman gives it to him. Logan then misses with a punch, and Rey Mysterio drop kicks Logan Paul to his knees. Rey then hits a 619. Rey sees the brass knuckles and he puts them on. The masked mysterious man then hits a curb stomp on Rey Mysterio. Logan Paul hits a frog splash for the win. The winner of the match is the Vision's the Maverick Logan Paul. Yes, I skipped to the end because it was just a regular match that we didn't really care about. It was a good, decent match, but overall, didn't really care about it. You got Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio as your main event on Monday Night Raw. Something is wrong. No disrespect to Rey Mysterio, by the way, and no disrespect to Logan Paul, but the story between them, I could care less about. After the match, the Masked Man gets on the apron. CM Punk then makes his way down to the ring with the chair. We then see the Masked Man revealed as Austin Theory. Braun then gets in the ring and CM Punk turns around into a spear. Braun then tells Punk this is his business. He then says you talk about his family again and you won't stand on 2 feet again. Theory then looks on from the crowd as the Vision stands tall and the show comes to a close. Okay, now I can rip this show a new one. And by the way, when Rey Mysterio was in the match, I skipped over this part that the Vision came out again. And this is my problem with this show. And I'm going to be making it very, very clear. Austin Theory being revealed as the Masked Man was one of the biggest letdowns in company history. I'm gonna repeat myself. Austin Theory being revealed as the Masked Man was one of the biggest letdowns in company history. Let me let you guys at home take a guess on why I said that. Remember what I said about Otis in the beginning of my review? About Ivy now, how they didn't have them on TV, so we didn't care? Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were a tag team. Grayson Waller then says he dumped Austin Theory, and then now he's with the New Day. So now you dump your tag team partner that you've been an a-hole to the entire time. You dump him, he goes away, and then all of a sudden you're now the manager of the New Day. Think about that for a second. You went from being a tag team champion after WrestleMania 40 to being the manager of the New Day within 1 year. Almost going into 2 years. Congratulations, you played yourself, as DJ Khaled would say. Congratulations, you played yourself. Anyway, Austin Theory being revealed as the Masked Man was terrible. You want to know why? Because before He went away for a long time. What did they do that I said about Otis and Ivy Nile? They didn't have them on TV, and when they did, he was a part of a tag team. This was a lackluster mass reveal. You know why? Because the company made sure that we didn't care about Austin Theory before he left. He wasn't getting a big push. Him and Grayson Waller were going back and forth about breaking up. And Grayson Waller kind of doing, suckerish things behind his back and doing all this stuff. They dropped that story completely just for have Austin Theory to jump over a cage and curb stomp somebody, take all of Seth Rollins' moves, and then after that, now he's in the part of the Vision, and he's been helping this entire time. Again, this made no sense. This is the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah, you hired a young guy who is talented, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, as a fan or a supporter of the product, because a fan is a derivative fanatic, and I'm not a fanatic. I love the business, but I'm not a mark about it. However, I will say this. This was awful. This was bad. No way, shape, or form did this go the right way. Something had to have happened. I don't understand this. This was awful. I don't, you guys at home are watching this, don't truly understand how awful the reveal was. As soon as he took his mask off, there was silence in the building. There was silence in the building, ladies and gentlemen. There was silence in the building. I'm going to repeat that one more time. There was silence in the building. Nobody cared. And then later on, before the show ended, and CM Punk staying on the top rope, and he's pointing at Austin Theory as if, oh man, I'm going to get you because you did this to me. Even though, man, Punk, I know you don't care really. He then turns around and he gets speared, and the show goes off the air. This was an abysmal failure by the company because you didn't push Austin Theory and you did nothing with him this entire time. You did absolutely nothing. So now all of a sudden you want us to care that Austin Theory is behind the mask and that Paul Heyman hired him this entire time? This makes no sense. This was dumb. It could have been Montez Ford or somebody else. Where's the Street Profits? Exactly my point. This was awful. The entire show was awful again. Bad creative, bad booking, and just a bad show overall. Again, Triple H, you cannot, and this is what gets me upset about this every single time. Triple H will come out his mouth every time he gets criticized. He fixates his mouth to say, oh, Raw is going to be groundbreaking. He said this last time. What did he say this past weekend? We're ushering a new era post John Cena's retirement. And then we go to Monday Night Raw, and this Raw is basically saying, well, let's just get through the holidays. The holidays are not until next week. What about the week before? Lazy booking again. Lazy, and lazy. Again, I would hire Vince Russo, Ed Ferrara, bring back Jim Cornette, bring back the whole entire gang. I don't care what it is. If you got to go back 90s retro, this is terrible. This show is awful. And it's because of Triple H. It's being put on you. Whoever else is writing the show with you, they've been horrible too. Road Dogg's been horrible on SmackDown. You've been horrible on Raw. This show was absolutely an abysmal. It was a failure. The mass revealing of Austin Theory was a failure because you failed as the lead head creative, the lead booker or head of creative of this show to make us as fans care about this individual. You did no such thing. This was a horrible show, and this is on Triple H. And I bet you because right now, after this, they're recording SmackDown for next week. And then this Friday, they're recording SmackDown. It's going to be live. And then they're recording Raw for that show, which will be this Friday being recorded. Again, I understand that you have to do the recording. You want people to go home and enjoy their family. I get that. What's the point of why having us tune in and you're going to be lazy with the booking? If it's Christmas holiday, do you know what you should do? Do the end of the year wrap up and give people a break so that we don't have to review the show. Now you can say people at home, oh, you don't have to review the show. You're doing it because you love wrestling. Yeah, I do love wrestling. I'm going to review the show anyway because I love this business a lot. This is one of the greatest businesses in the history of the world to me. Professional wrestling, football, basketball, it brings people together. We can have interesting dialogue when we talk about storylines and creative. As long as we don't go overboard by disrespecting people. But other than that, I feel like I've been fair tonight. It's been horrible creative. and I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Because I tell you, I come up here to be unbiased and give you guys truth. If it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. And for the past couple weeks, it's been bad with Raw and SmackDown. These shows have been horrible, and it's because Triple H is booking these shows, and he is not good at it so far. He is not. And people need to start calling him out on it. This show was awful. And the only reason I'm not yelling any louder is because if I yell any louder, my microphone might pop. It might blow up or something. I don't know. And I'm not trying to mess up your guys' eardrums if you listen to this with your headphones on. Again, this show was awful. I know I'm repeating myself. I tend to do that a lot. But I'm trying to drill it into everybody's minds how bad this show really was tonight. This show needs a change. I know they're gearing up for January 5th. But if you're going to gear up for another month from now, think about it. It's December 15th right now, and we have to wait till January 5th? Excuse you? I beg your pardon. You making us wait damn near a month to get good creative and a good show? Are you out of your mind? What is the point of people paying their Netflix bill to watch this show? If you're going to do that, then I should tell everybody who watches Monday Night Raw for the month of December, since you're not going to put on a good show and you're not going to be good booking creatively, you know what I'll tell people? Cancel your Netflix subscriptions until January 5th and then go back and get it so that you can see a greatly booked show. Again, Netflix is paying money for this garbage, and so is USA Network. I'm going to come up here every time and speak the truth no matter what. I don't give a damn who got a problem with it. This show, again, I'm repeating myself, was absolutely awful. And it's because of Triple H and everybody else. And do I put TKO as responsible for this show being terrible? Yes, because I don't like them. Mark Shapiro is one of them. Again, clowns running a business that should not be run by clowns. Wrestling should be one of the most protected businesses in the history of this planet, and it's being run by a bunch of money-hungry idiots who ain't got no business in the wrestling business, period. Mark Shapiro has no business in the wrestling business. None of these guys do. Triple H is getting the blame because he's the head booker. He's the head of creative. But other than that, it goes far beyond him. You guys need to wake up and see that this goes beyond Triple H when it comes to everything else. And I'm talking about money and greed. They don't give a damn about creative. They just want money. They want money out of you, and you keep falling for it. Saturday night's main event just broke the gate for WWE all-time record. Those high-ass ticket prices, and you guys, we smashing the record. And all you guys in the audience go ahead and cheer for some dumbass reason. Excuse my language, I'm just upset. This is ridiculous. And I bet you next week's show is going to be just as bad. You know why? Oh, man, because guess what? Christmas is on Thursday or Friday, whichever day it is, I don't even know. We have Christmas coming up, so we're going to give you bad creative. This was an awful show. I'm sorry that you guys had to watch it. Hopefully some of you guys who didn't watch it, maybe you enjoyed my review better than you would have in watching this show. This was awful. I've been here for over 45 minutes talking about how awful this show was. But I'm glad you guys stayed to watch my review. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys felt about tonight's show. Hit the like button and subscribe button to the YouTube channel for more great content. Until next time, guys, see you real soon.